Hey, family, thanks so much for joining me again. I wanted to talk with you tonight about a video I did not know if I would do. So I'm going to get into some stuff that some of it I'm getting from the spirit. And the last time I tried to do a video, for some reason, my laptop froze and I wasn't able to do it. And I think that it's something that I'll discuss, but it's important for me to share the information um, as much as I can. Um, and so let me just get into it. So I had recently been thinking about bloodlines and how I can say, at least in my experience, from my bloodline, my mom, she told me that she was called to um, basically preach, to lead a church, to be in charge. And my mom was a very powerful person. I did not know at the time. Um, she's passed away. I did not know how powerful she was. And I think um, there are spiritual forces out there that didn't want people to know how powerful she was. And I think there are spiritual forces out there that don't want people to know how powerful I am either. And same thing for a lot of you. A lot of you have gifts, talents, and abilities and things that you don't know about, and that some of you do know about, and you just might not. There might be some interference. Um, you just might say, I don't understand why for some reason. It seems like something is holding me back. Maybe, I don't know a lot about chakras, but um, for some people, they'll say, there's something about my throat chakra. I need to be able to express myself more. And recently I was hearing, someone on YouTube talking about truth, and I was talking to a friend um, recently about truth as well. It's so important for us to be able to speak our truth and to speak not only our truth, but just the truth. And I think that there are a lot of spiritual forces out there that try to interfere with that and try to stop us from doing that. And so I think it's important for for me to consider, because I believe I was called into teaching as well. But I think that part of my responsibility, as a member of a twin flame, um, is also love and teaching people how to love and working with people and getting in. And it's the twin flame couple, um, Jacqueline and Aaron, they were one of the first couples that I ever saw. It's twin flames, and now they call themselves Authenticity Process. But it's about speaking the truth with every breath. So this is not for me a game, and it's I know it's a way of life, but I think that for a lot of people, they're not sure what to think about it. They're kind of shocked, or they're stunned, or they're not sure how to take it. But I think a lot of people are drawn to it. So for my mom, um, and I'm bringing you along with me on my journey to really building a group of clients that are true, that are pure at heart, and not only clients, but attracting friends, attracting you know business partnerships, all types of relationships, all types of things with people who are authentic, if I attract more twin flames along the way, if I attract, you know, other soulmates along the way, if I, you know, pull more of my family into this. But I think it's really important to look at these things because we're when it comes to the calling, um, I think it was a calling not just on my mom, but on our family, on our bloodline. And I think we have the gifts, and many of us have really strong gifts. And I think it's important for us to share them with the world to help to lift people up, to elevate humanity. I've talked about this a little bit, and I'm just working on ways to get the truth out there, connecting with other people who are about the truth, who are trying to elevate other people and lift other people up, help other people, and just being pure at heart. And I think it's encouraging to see other people do this, to see other people wanting to lift people up, wanting to help people, but getting back to the bloodlines and the calling. So I think it was a calling on all of us who had the gifts and abilities and talents to do that, to guide people if we could, to show them the way, to teach them different things. And I think if we don't, then we find ourselves suffering. Now, I think also because of the spiritual warfare, there can be things that try to interfere with us doing the work that we're called to do. Because, like I was saying before, I think there are, spiritual forces, like in the Bible, it talks about um, principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. It could be in any place, but um, in different places, trying to discourage that, trying to stop the flow, trying to interfere with us doing the work that we're called to do. And we can't let that happen. I think it's just warfare, but I think it is worth the battle because it's part of building the body. It's part of, and I'm not talking in religious terms, I'm talking in spiritual terms. There are different people who need different gifts. Everyone will have plumber listening to this, then there are certain people that called you because they need, help with their plumbing, like they had, this weather stuff that's been going on, a pipe frozen, they need your help with that, or they need help with, clogged drain, what have you. There are different people who's, HVAC, called to that, and some people need you for heating and cooling, or other people need someone who's a chiropractor because they, got into an accident and they're, out of alignment and they need you to help them, or a physical therapist, or, a different, different quote unquote professions, or different people are called to different things. But as it says in the Bible, we are called to one hope when we were called. So the goal is always, I believe, to lift up each other, to take us to the next level. And, some people will say, well, people don't watch the news. I know I'm kind of getting off track, but I'm coming back to the point. Some people will say, well, people don't watch the news. And it's, how can you watch the news? How can you not know what's going on? If you know anything about spiritual wickedness and evil spiritual forces, then the game did not change. So they were running the same plays over and over and over again. The difference is it works for a lot of people because they do the same things repeatedly. People get tired, they get exhausted, they throw everything but the kitchen sink at some of us. And so this is why it's important for us to persevere. This is why it's important for us to continue to lift people up. I was listening to an interview recently And the guy's name is Reese Bar. He used to be a soccer player, US it's soccer, but it's, football in the UK. And um, so he was saying something about this, about um, the interviewer asked him, what's in it for you, when you help people? Because he said, I always wanted to help people, you know, lift them up. And the interviewer says, well, what's in it for you? And he says, I didn't even think of it that way. And that's the selflessness that we need to continue with. Because for me, since I was a little kid, I was on the same page. That's where I was, that I was thinking, I really want to help people. I want people to have a better life. I want them to know that there's stuff out there that they can use to help them. They could have a better experience. They could be happier and all this stuff. So it's so important. It's needed. So when we don't watch the news, it's not because we don't care. It's because I can say for a lot of us, we care so much when someone is in pain, someone like, we talk about major terrorist attacks and things like that. People are hurt. When I see an animal that's been wounded, or, you know, his life was ended on the side of the road, I feel pain. And so it's important for people to know, just because I don't watch the news, it doesn't mean that I don't care. If anything, I care more. And I think it does better for someone that I am doing things to elevate myself, that I'm doing stuff to lift my mood up, that I'm doing things to help myself feel better, that I'm doing things to keep a great mindset, so that when I encounter them, I could greet them with a smile. I give them a compliment, or I, tell them they're so great, or whatever it is I want to, they're going to get through, or whatever it is. It's this too shall pass, things like that, because we never know what a small thing like that, a word, could mean to someone going on, or just deciding that it's over, you know? So I think it's really important. But so for the bloodlines, I think a lot of people might have this experience that they're called into certain work, and there might be something that's trying to interfere with that, because it this the spiritual force does not want them to do it. And I think a lot of people don't consider that, but I think it's important to consider that. And I think it's important to consider the importance of encouraging others, and not just saying, you giving up, and how could you do it? And it's so, you're wasting your talent and this and that. Just consider there might be some forces that are trying to interfere with them moving forward, because they don't want them to succeed in this work that they're supposed to do. So I think if we can just try to be encouraging, you know, try to encourage people to move forward, try to encourage them to pursue the thing that they know they're called to do, even if in the beginning they do it part time, until they could get to do it full time. Um, there's, people experience burnout and so many different things, but being able to do the things that we love to do, that we're gifted to do, that we're called to do, lift people up, help them, help in this healing process, I think is so important. And when we do that, not only do we win, everyone wins, because we're actually using the gift the way it's supposed to be used, to lift other people, to help other people, to, you know, more faith in their own abilities, and they believe more in the good forces, the balance, um, that it can work out, that we could win. Um, so, yeah, I think it's important for us, and this is a major reason to me why we need to continue, on this journey, to continue this process of listening to inspiring audio, reading books, or listening to music that's inspiring, or watching inspiring videos, inspiring movies, putting out stuff, speaking to people, interacting with people. There are so many ways that we could do this to continue to add to each other, to continue to build each other up, lift each other up. When we do that, I think um, everyone wins. So um, I will probably do more on this um, topic with the bloodlines, spiritual warfare, our calling, and us ultimately winning. Because, recently I was saying, it looks like things are shifting, that the balance has been restored. And I do believe that there's more. I had this experience where I would be driving down the road, let's say, and an animal that would normally stop would just randomly run out in front of my vehicle. And I'm saying, this is not right. Something's off. What's going on? The forces are off. And then I got to the point where I started speaking it into existence, saying, no, balance is restored. The balance has been restored. Next thing I know, I'm seeing the same type of animals, but they're able to pause. They're not running in front of animals on the side of the road that are being harmed, or, losing their lives. I'm seeing more things in harmony with the way they should be. And that's the way that I want it. That's the way that I think, that's the way we should all want it to be. Um, Harmony, peace, happiness, love, joy, bliss. And I mean, we all experience a lot of different emotions. That's, to have the entire human experience, that's what we do. However, I think that it doesn't have to be like we don't have to be in the depths of despair constantly. It doesn't have to be that way. And I think if we can stay even in a neutral place, I think it's great, because that means, unlimited possibilities. Anything can happen. We can do anything, have anything, be anything, achieve anything, go anywhere. Um, so yes, so I guess I'm going to end this video. I just thank you again for joining me. I just wanted to come to you and bring this information and say, I will, probably come back and do some more of these videos, and come out with additional information, as well as I'm inspired. I actually want to do videos now on the zodiac signs. We'll see how that goes. Not really an astrologer, but from my experience with individuals, I'm learning more and more about the signs of the zodiac. And I know everyone's, because of their, people talk about their moons and their, risings and all that stuff. There will be different experiences with the zodiac signs, but I would say um, that I have a pretty good amount of experience with a lot of people. And so I think it'll be interesting for me to talk about my experience. Or they would say, no, this person, this sign is totally different. This Scorpio is totally different. Or this, whatever, this Cancer is totally different. This Pisces, totally different. Aquarius, they're totally different than you describe your, the person that So there are variances, and it's also, a person chooses what they're going to be, what they're going to become, what they're going to do ultimately. So ultimately, we have the power. It's been given to us. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Hope to come to you again soon to bring some more, hopefully helpful, useful content. If you'd like to work with me, check out my description below. You could go to my website, you can give me a call, you could email. And if you want to work on twin flame union stuff, or relationship stuff, dating stuff, if you want to work on, you're a high achiever and that you should be further along the line, but something is in the way. You're feeling like you're not happy with your current situation, and you can use spiritual guidance or spiritual healing, um, business consultation. There are so many different things that we can do together. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you in the next one. All right. Love you, family, as always. Happy lightning fast manifesting. Okay. And bye for now.